Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Agora, Singapore. Okay, I can see we have quite a number of new friends. And I can see somebody is sharing screen. I think must be. Wow. Oh, wow, Ishan. I am impressed. Okay. Now, what is going to happen tonight is our friends are going to present speeches. And we are going to listen. And then we are going to give feedback. Tonight, I want to focus on this area of feedback. Number one, tell me or tell us, what does the speaker really want? First. Second, do you believe him? Third, is he effective? Okay. So we are doing the effectiveness test. The question eventually, the most important is, what does he want? Right? Did he achieve what he set out to achieve? Was he effective? Are we ready? Raise a hand if you're ready. Okay, Ishan, looks like you are ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ishan, how many minutes do you need?
Sorry, sir, what did you say?
5 to 7 minutes, yeah? Okay, I will time you. Can you see my screen, Ishan? Can you see my screen? Do you need me to help you with the timing? Wait, you are muted.
I will set up my time. Okay, no problem.
So you do your own timing.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Ishan, I'll give you 1 minute to introduce yourself. Tell your audience who you are. Number one. Number two, tell them what are you going to talk about. Then number three, tell them why is it so important to listen to you. Okay? You have 1 minute to do that. Then you present your speech. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the first speaker for tonight, Ishan Ahmed. Ishan Ahmed from Martin Luther King Jr. Club in India. Yeah!
A very happy good evening, everyone. Myself is Ishan Ahmed. I'm a student of graduate from India. So today I'm here to present a speech on the topic gender discrimination. Can you see my screens? Remember, what is issue for gender equality? Gender equality is not a woman's issue. It is a human issue. It affects us all. So it is very important topic in our life, in our society. You know, you see any society very gender inequality. So here I can start. Gender discrimination is when there are unfair rights between male and female. It differs because of their gender roles, which ultimately leads to unequal treatment in life. Gender discrimination, it has been around for many centuries. However, as we are evolving, it is time to do away with such notice of gender rules. Remains and Roma. This to our brother and sister. Their mother name is Rokhna and father name is Rohan. Remains 16 years old boy and Roma 13 years old. In their village, girls in their village, girls not allowed to take education, and bamboo screen that was placed between men and women, and also only boys allowed to take education. In that period, in that day, Rama's mother was upset by these rules in society. Rama's mother decided this that she fought against for the rights of girls. Next day, Rokma challenged the prevailing custom of women sitting behind a bamboo screen in public meetings. And she delivered a very powerful speech and demanded removal of gender discrimination. Then all girls allowed to take education. So this is my story and message for we cannot gender unequations. We all are equal, men and women. Two, it should be better. All girls take the rights of girls like boys. You know, case of gender discrimination. What case? There are many cases of there are many cases of gender discrimination. There are many cases of gender discriminations in society. There are several problems due to gender inequality. There are people who discriminate against women. So number one, machismo, attitude or way of thinking of above of those who maintain that man is by nature superior to women. Number two, violence is to abuse, disrespect, insult a person, woman. Femicides, murder of women due to their status of women. So this is case and impact of gender discriminations. You know what is gender discrimination has a deep impact on society as a specific section of the society, but every part it. First of all, it impacts children as they fall prey to gender stereotypes from from a young age. Forever, it impacts young people because it impacts their behavior, study choice, ambitions, attitude, and more. Next up, we have gender discriminations affecting adults because there is a gender pay gap between the working class. It also impacts the Aboriginal women because they have it a lot worse can die from family violence. At times, modern men, it is not beneficial. It's as it set difficult standards for men to follow. All these scissors in more social in men. And thus, it impacts everyone. So, in conclusion, gender discrimination must be judged at every stage so person should be denied a chance to learn and grow. Thus, everyone, no matter man or female, must get a start in life in terms of education and other opportunities. We must come together as a society to this. Can you see my post? Can you see my screen? This is right to education for every woman, every man and woman. This is not only boys where only boys take education. All women and men take education. We all are equal. So next we see happy women, healthy women, stock female for side. So and we stop gender discrimination wherever this is. So thank you everyone. Give me this opportunity. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Wow. Great job. Great job. Ishan, you did very well. I'm very impressed with you, Ishan. How old are you?
I am 13.
13 years old. My goodness.
Thank you.
You definitely has a material of a champion speaker. I like your speech very much. Thank
Thank you.
Now let us invite feedback. Kim, share with us your reaction to Ishan's speech.
On the summary, it was good, but I think there's background noise. so a little bit of disturbance. And you tell us to let us know what the speaker wants. Actually, he wants is to talk about gender discrimination. And I find it's very good. It's very effective because he talk about education, that the woman can have a chance to study. Right or not? Ishan. Yeah. So for me, I find at his young age, he's able to do very well. Good.
Yeah, well done, Ishan. I'm very proud of
Thank
you,
you.
Ishan. Who else want to share some feedback? David, please.
Thank you, Peng. Ishan, the wonderful, incredible Ishan. I've heard you speak many, many times at the club in India. And Peng, you are absolutely right. Ishan competed at the World Champions and Agora a few weeks ago. So yes, he's not a world champion yet, but he's very close to it. And also about the noise. Yeah, there was background noise today, but Ishan spoke last night on a train, no less. So the background noise then was incredible, but he still managed to get a good speech out. So well done, young man. You are an absolute inspiration. I wish I was speaking in public like you are at your age. I don't know where I'd be now if I was, but this is exactly the way you need to do it to improve your success in future life and increase your chances to better yourself, your family, your community, and all of India as well. A fantastic job. A great speech. I enjoyed this speech better than the one last night. I think the subject material is great, especially for a young man like yourself, talking about women's rights, girls' rights to education. Fantastic job on that. That's a real challenge and a great step forward, because you'll be a young man in the future, a future leader of industry and society in India as a whole. And if you think about female rights at this stage in your life, that's a great thing for the future of India and the future of your community. So well done, great job. I heard your speech a lot better tonight with less noise from the trains than you had last night. So great, and I'm great to see you here too. You're in a very good community for learning and improving your speaking abilities and sharing your knowledge with all of us. Thank you so much, Ishan. Back over to you, Peng.
Thank you, David. Anyone else want to share your observations, your feedback with Ishan? Just unmute yourself if you wish. Okay.
Can I ask, no, is Ishan from India now, or is he in Singapore?
India.
Yeah, in India. Oh, okay. Oh, that means David is also in Philippines. I thought maybe you're in Singapore, but you are from Philippines. Oh.
Well, I lived in Singapore for 2.5 years, and this is why I found this club initially. And but I help out twice a week with the MLKJ club in India. Dr. Halima is the leader of that. He's a member of this organization, and that's how I met Dr. Halima. And Ishan is one of the really good speakers we have in that club. And they routinely come to Singapore to join us in this meeting, and it's a real pleasure when they do. So Ishan is one of the best speakers we have. And then of course we got a Canadian here too as well. So he's smiling away.
We got a fake Canadian.
I'm fully Canadian now, Peng. My name is Kevin. I changed my name.
Really?
Yeah, my Canadian name is now Kevin.
Well, I wish you are Singaporean. You should carry the Singapore flag and bring a trophy to us. You know, you brought it all the
Who knows? Maybe next year, Peng.
Do you want to share some feedback for Ishan?
Of course, I would love to. So a few notes that I have for Ishan is that, first of all, you're so young. That is the thing that you need to be proud of. Not every 13-year-old out there could do something like that. So you're amazing right the way you are. However, I love the body language. There was vocal variety as well. However, one thing that might improve it a lot better is opening in every speech is very key. It's very important. The moment you attract the audience's attention, that way they would keep on listening to you. So I think you could improve on the opening a bit and just use rhetorical questions like, ever had that one friend that just felt discriminated against their own gender? And then you can go into the topic. That way the audience could have more, could pay attention to you more and be more interested. So a few parts you could try making it more mysterious so that it's like a story, You want the audience to guess, what is he going to say next? And that way they will keep on listening to you. I think that's all from me, but yeah, back to you, Peng.
Thank you, Jose. Great advice. Great advice. Yeah, your opening capture the audience attention, Ishan. I think it is a very good advice, right? One of the basic thing is to engage the audience, right? If the audience are not engaged, like Jose say, then you are fighting a losing battle. So important to bear that in mind. Ishan, I'm very impressed with you because you are really determined. That's a basic quality to succeed. You don't care whether you're on the bus, on the train, in a noisy place, you you will speak. Now that is very important. Many people give a lot of excuses not to speak, but you don't have any excuse. You want to speak, you just speak. So that's number one, excellent. Number two, you are getting comfortable with using the PowerPoint slide. And that's an improvement from earlier time. PowerPoint slides by themselves are not compulsory, but it helps you. So if you can master it well, then of course you have an advantage. One thing about PowerPoint slide is try not to flip it left to right, then right to left, left to right. Try to let it flow one way, because psychologically we are used to water flowing one direction or time moving in one direction. But if you are moving this way, that way, this way, that way, we get a little bit uncomfortable. So that's about the PowerPoint slide. Thank you very much, Ishan. I enjoy your speech. I've learned not only from you, I've learned from the feedback from David, from Kim, and from Jose. Thank you, all of you. Okay, who want to go next? Wait, Charan, you want to speak for a short duration? You have to unmute first. Okay, while you sort that out, let's invite somebody else to speak. Who want to go next? Okay, David will go next. Okay, David, 1 minute to introduce yourself and your topic and tell us why it's so important to listen to you. And then how many minutes do you need for your speech?
I'll do 5 to 7. And can you time
5
me,
to 7.
Peng?
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. I'll do the timing for you.
Great.
Okay, can you see my screen, David?
Yep.
Okay, what is the backdrop color?
Green.
Okay, that will be 5 minutes signal. Can you see the color now?
Yellow.
Okay, that will
yellow.
be 6 minutes, and then that will be 7
Red,
minutes,
7
after
minutes.
which you have 30 seconds to end the speech. Okay, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome speaker number 2, David Haslam. David Haslam, welcome.
Thank you, Peng. My name is David Richard Haslam. I was born in England. I lived in America for 32 years. I lived in Singapore for 2 years. I've also lived in Denmark, and now I'm currently in the Philippines. So I'm a wide world traveler, that's for sure. Today's speech is called Week 1, and I've changed the theme of the speech partly based on Peng's experience now. And I think my new speech is actually better than my original, so I will go ahead and start my speech. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow travelers on this planet, have you ever spent a week in a new place, a new environment, or a new experience? Why is that first week always so important? Well, let me tell you from my perspective. How many week 1s I've had, the first week in a new country, first week in a new job, first week with a new family, the first week visiting an old family. I've had them all in multiple ways and multiple occasions. And why is it so important to get week 1 right? Well, let me tell you, my latest week 1 was here in the Philippines, in Baguio City. The reason why that was so important was getting the lay of the land, knowing where to go for food, knowing where to go for help, knowing where to go for entertainment and relaxation, and knowing where to go for dealing with things that are unexpected. Well, it wasn't my first week, but it was the first week after suffering my first earthquake. Last month, there was a 7.0 on the Richter scale earthquake, 65 kilometers north of here, in a town called Agora, which is pretty close to Agora, so that's why I always screw up on that word. But I'd never experienced a major earthquake before in my life. I've been through tremors in England and in Michigan, multiple times in Michigan, but they were always very short, just like a done. Occasionally there was a noise with them. I heard one earthquake when I was in Michigan, and it was like a cracking sound, like a close by crack of thunder, not as loud as thunder, but it was still a shock to the system that way. But the earthquake here in Baguio was quite amazing. I was sleeping at the time it happened, and I woke up to feel the bed shaking below me. I thought, who's in the room with me? Then I looked round, and of course I was alone because I was living alone. Nobody could be shaking the bed. But it got more and more and more. And then I realized that it was an earthquake. Now, I know the building codes in a lot of countries are fantastic and brilliant and just incredible. And I know countries like Japan build buildings to withstand earthquakes. But I know that's not the way it is in the Philippines. And I know we have a fellow Filipino here today, but the building codes are not what you call first world. So I was worried because I was on the 3rd floor of a 7th floor building as I was laying there. And I was flat on my back looking up at the ceiling, trying to work out when I see the first cracks and the first signs of the floors above me falling through my space. And this was a long earthquake because I've been interested in earthquakes since I was 5 or 6 years old. And I know that most earthquakes only last a few seconds, maybe 20 seconds at the most. I don't know the exact time, but it was over a minute. My bed was shaking backwards and forwards, and up and down very slightly. And then it suddenly went more and more and more and more. And things were falling off the shelves. the door of my refrigerator opened up. And I was like, oh boy, this is the end. And then it stopped. Just stopped. Quick as a flash. And I could hear screaming outside. I could hear people milling around in the courtyard because they were doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get out of a building and as far away from anything that might fall on you as possible during an earthquake. However, at the very start of the earthquake, I decided that that was a waste of time. You see, I hate to be too personal here, but I tend to sleep naked. And I was lying absolutely, day I was born, naked on top of my bed when the earthquake began. And I actually calculated in my imagination. So it'll take me a couple of seconds to get some clothes on, a few seconds to get out the door, 15 or so seconds to get the staircase because of my feet, even if I run through the pain. Then how many minutes to get down the staircase to get out? And if I'm on the staircase and I fall due to the earthquake, I'm going to be in worse shape than if I just stay here in bed and pray that the ceiling doesn't fall down on me. So that's what I did. I just lay on the bed naked, staring up at the ceiling. So my first week and my first time in Baguio was quite an experience getting used to people, places, things, getting used to whole new procedures and ways of life, because I discovered that earthquakes here are on average 1 every 3 days. 3 days! I spent 57 years of my life never experiencing one. And now I'm in the teens of my experience of earthquakes, very small ones, very minor. They don't last long. That major one was the peak of it all. But I'm used to sitting on bed or sitting on a chair, and suddenly the bed or the chair moves beneath you and out of your control. It's a regular occurrence. So now it's becoming kind of normal after the first week of experiencing it and being terrified by it. So, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you've got to roll with the punches, get used to the new way of life. Sometimes it's totally unexpected and nothing that you've ever imagined before. But the first week is the time you get used to the place you're in, the environment you're at. And let me tell you, get used to these new experiences and embrace them, enjoy them, analyze them if you must, like I did with earthquakes. But always take them as a new experience that you fold into your entire experience of life. And you build a better picture of your life and a better story that you can tell in the future. Back to you, Peng.
Thank you, David. 7 minutes, 5 seconds. Perfect timing. Great job. I was so captivated by your presentation. My goodness, you are good, David. I think you have listened very carefully to Jose's advice to capture our attention and keep us there. Yeah, it's really good. You are really captivating. Excellent work. Okay, let's invite some friends to share some feedback. Who want to go first? Wait, what about Tony? Say something, Tony.
Yeah, sure. Quick mic test. Can everyone hear me?
Can.
Oh, yes. All right. David, I like just a quick check, your title is Big One, right?
Big number
Yes.
one.
Yes. David, I think you are an entertaining and engaging speaker, and I liked how you went about sharing an entertaining speech while sharing a larger message about enjoying our new experiences in life. And I feel that it is something that you went about in an effective manner. So how did you go about doing it? I like how you went about engaging the audience, opening your speech with a question to get us involved, to get us feel that this is an experience that is not just about your personal experience, but we all may potentially have such an experience when we go overboard as well. So it pulls in the audience to make us feel that this is something that we can be involved as well. Secondly, I like the way you you told your personal story, how you were experiencing the earthquake for the first time, your visual descriptions, your use of inner dialogue, who's in the room with you, all these really creates that vivid imagery that just feel and pulled into your story. So I have some suggestions for you to consider to create even greater impact for your story. And one of it is for you to consider maybe greater use of vocal variety, because you were in that earthquake, right? But you still sounded so calm and composed. The earthquake felt just like a minor inconvenience for you. So you couldn't really feel the danger that you're in. So you may want to have that sense of shock, have that sense of danger, have that sense of feeling that, oh my God, my life may be in danger. And if you have that, it will really pull us and make us feel right at that moment in time how you felt that your life is in danger. And secondly, I thought maybe you could build upon that message about how week one is important. When we want to go to a new country, we want not just to open to new experiences, but also to get to know the country well so we can better brace and prepare ourselves for any potential issues that may happen, such as earthquakes, such as any other things that may happen. I feel that this will give your message an even stronger impact. Thank you.
Wow, Tony, thank you very much. I appreciate your feedback. I think we are all learning today. So many things to learn. Amazing. Okay, who else want to share some feedback?
Thank you, Tony.
Welcome. Thank you.
Who else want to share feedback with David? Yeah, I think David is definitely a very captivating speaker. He has a lot of interesting things to share, and very captivating the way he present it. So I think the added comment or feedback from Tony helped to generate the emotional highs and lows for your speech. I thought it's really, really very good. Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you, David. Charan, I see you have managed to unmute yourself.
I think somebody helped me. I don't know.
Okay, it worked. It worked. So would you like to present your speech now?
Okay, I'll present my speech. My name is Charan. I'm very young. I'm only 81 years old. I've been retired for the last 21 years. I decided not to go to work. That was my choice. Not that I don't need money, but I had some of my savings. So during my working time, I felt I had extra money. So instead of spending on entertainment, I decided to save my money. Okay, now I want to tell you about telling lies. Sometimes telling lies is our survival tactic, and sometimes to look good, and sometimes not to offend other people. In 1964, I joined the Singapore Prison Service as a most junior rank. They call them prison warders. And those people earlier than me who joined the service, they felt threatened. Why they felt threatened was they had joined much earlier, and most of them had no formal education. So now they find somebody is a bit educated. I had partial O levels, that's why I couldn't become a prison officer. So, but anyway, I was going for bookkeeping class. So I wrote in a letter to the superintendent. I was working those days in Bedok. There was a prison there for young offenders called Reformative Training Center. So those people, those earlier staff, they were not happy about it because they wanted to see me leave as soon as possible so that their chances of promotion are there. I was going for my bookkeeping and they felt that bookkeeping was not necessary for me. So I explained to the director, I said, I'm still on temporary service and I would like to have a better future in this better qualification. No, I don't have full O levels. I still like to take up bookkeeping. I'm already I already completed my part 1. I'm going to do my part 2, the intermediate bookkeeping. They call it London Chamber of Commerce. But when that superintendent was transferred out and later became the director of prisons, the new superintendent was not in favor. They say I'm lousy, I always report sick, all sorts of excuses. So he was not interested in my education. And on the day of my examination, I requested for a day off. That is my own entitlement because I worked on my off days. The sergeant was supposed to prepare the rotation, our shift duties, put me on afternoon shift when my exam was on. At least you put me in morning shift, I still had time to go for my exam. After that, I decided I must find a way not to look bad, at the same time convince them that I'm no more interested in my bookkeeping classes. But I was really fed up the way I was treated. So on a raining day, I made sure I went to work. On a nice hot day, I'll report sick. And they had confused the senior officers. Say, why is this chap on a raining day, he comes to work? And I was staying in Jalan Yunos. I had to cycle about 14 kilometers to go to work. 14 kilometers in the rain. And whether it's night shift or day shift, I went to work. So it was very confusing for them. They asked me, why do you don't? I said, are you telling me to report sick? If you want me to report sick, I'll report sick. If I'm not well, I don't feel I should report sick. I never told anyone the reason why that was my way of overcoming my frustration. I deceived them in a way, yes. It was a way of satisfaction for me too, because they were always wondering. Then the assistant superintendent changed. After 6 months, I didn't report any medical leave. But one day I went late to work. So he called me up, he asked me, he said, okay, Charan, tell me the truth. Why is it that you never reported sick on a raining day, but you always report sick on a nice hot weather day? I said, sir, if I'm sick on a raining day, I'll report sick, but if you're not sick on a raining day, I will not report. See, on a hot day, I'm sick, what can I do? I have to report sick. I didn't want to reveal my secret. I thought it would be not nice for them to tell me that I was cheating them in one way or another. After many years, I met the earlier assistant superintendent. I told him, you remember you told somebody else that I didn't report sick on raining day, but only report. He said, yes. I said, I will try to share my secret with you. He said, what is it? I said, when I went to see you, I had an important thing to take my day off. You say, see the sergeant. I see the sergeant, he never entertained me. So I had my own plans and I worked that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Charan. Great job. You are dishonest and you are very honest. So life has its different ways to be dealt with. And thank you for sharing, Charan. Now let's invite some feedback from our audience. Who want to go first? Okay, David, please. You are muted, David.
Yeah. Okay, should be all right now. Charan, my friend, my good friend. How are you today, sir?
Okay,
Anyway.
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Charan, I'm always fascinated by your speeches because a lot of them take place before I was even born or around the time when I was a very, very young child. And the fact that you were a prison warden at a time before I was born, because I was born in 1965, and your experiences outlast me by many, many years at this point. But you're always inspiring and you're always very, very interesting, fascinating to listen to. And admitting to a lie is a very challenging thing. And I have done that too. I've taken sick days on nice weather days because you don't want to be, when you're taking a sick day, you don't want to be miserable and under the weather, being under the weather, you know. So I don't blame you for taking sick days on nice sunny, pleasant afternoons and pleasant mornings. But to actually admit that is quite a thing. And you have a nice, friendly delivery, very good. The impression of you is always great. No insult meant here. The old man of the sea, and I always like listening to older people and their experiences because you can learn a lot from them. I have always been fascinated by being with older people, and even now as I get older myself, you know, I'm approaching 60 rapidly, and that just astounds me. So finding older people than me now is becoming more and more challenging, but you are the epitome of the type of person I would like to spend time with, get to know well, hear the stories from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And as a mentor rather, to a lot of younger people, I hope they listen to me and respect me in the way I listen and respect you, sir. So great job to be speaking to us all, giving us the experiences of your life and your what should I say, your universe of experiences. And I'm glad you share those with us. Keep up a good job, and figure out how your mic works a bit better next time, okay? But great job. I really enjoyed listening to you. Back over to you, Bang Peng.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Charan. Anybody else want to share any feedback with Charan?
Yes, if there's no one else, I would like to share briefly some feedback with Sharon. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it correct? Sorry.
Charan, yes, Charan.
Charan.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you so much for your honesty about your dishonesty, because I felt that for me, I felt your speech was like, and felt kind of like an ice-breaking speech, and it helps us to get to know you at a deeper and a more meaningful level. So what I really like about your speech is that one of the things is that you are very quirky and humorous, and you have a great sense of humor. When you were starting out, you say that you were too young, and then you were sharing about one day you decided to stop working, and you have this sense of humor that really kept us engaged, or really kept me engaged into your story. And I really like how you have a very natural speaking style. You are telling your story, but it felt very comfortable. It felt like a very conversational, the way that you're telling your story, and you got us into your story in a very easy way. And it also made you feel very authentic, very likable. And when the story is about you, when you're such a likable person, we are naturally attuned to listening more from you, to hearing so much more from you, and we get to learn so much from you. So I thought some suggestions, a very short suggestion is that you may want to consider, if possible for yourself and comfortable for you, is to maybe use some gestures, because I noticed that there was very little use of gesturing. So you were mainly just facing us with your face and telling us your story. You have very vibrant facial expression. It's just that I thought if you could bring some gestures in your speech, it could make your speech even more vivid and lively. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I normally, when I'm on a physical side, I do use my hands. But when I'm on on the Zoom, I normally don't use my hands, because sometimes you'll be blocking your face.
I see. Thanks for clarifying this.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Anyway,
Then
next time, maybe
next time you observe how Trisha and Jose do it. They have their hand gestures. They can use props. They can even play music while they present on Zoom. Okay, so you must learn from the young ones. We are dinosaurs, so the young ones are very good. Okay, I know many of you have prepared a speech to deliver, and who want to go next? Just raise a hand. And we are preparing for the next World Championship in August next year, starting now. Tony or Alan, are you ready, Alan? Alan? Or would Tony want to go first?
I didn't prepare a speech today. I'm here to learn
Okay.
from others today. Yes.
Okay, Alan, are you ready to present your speech?
Yeah, I'm okay. Very good evening to all of you.
Wait,
My
I'll
name is
tell you
Alan.
something first. Hold on. I'll tell you something first. You
Right.
just log in. So number one is your time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes.
Sure.
Okay, are you able to time yourself?
Yeah.
Can you see
Yeah,
my
I'm
screen?
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Do you want me to help you with the timing lights or something?
It's okay. I will look at my time.
Oh, you
The
like your
time here.
timer, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You have 1 minute, 1 minute to introduce yourself. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and about the topic and what is so important about this topic that we should listen to you, and why are you suitably qualified to talk on this topic. 1 minute to do that, and then 7 minutes to present your speech. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the third speaker this evening, Alan So. Alan So, yeah!
Right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you have a very nice dinner. And my name is Alan. I just want to introduce myself that I'm currently a trainer in First Aid Training Center, as well as the mostly my time spent on how to teach people on CPR and AED. And it's all ages, especially from the schools, child first aid teachers, and also I give Mandarin class, and also to the public class, like whoever who's interested to come to the class to learn first aid and on CPR and AED. Now, basically, that's my full time, and my part time is a freelance artist, which I'm going to talk to you on the topics on arts later on. So my main interest, my main passion is still arts. So yeah, that's all about me. I'm just free and easy to open my options to have all options available. Okay, right now I just wish to share with you on my topics on arts, because I started actually about 4 or 5 years ago, whereby I found out my talents by my first painting in using acrylic medium on canvas. It was very strongly encouraged by my wife. She actually says, because I do sketches here and then, and she say, why not? You can start off with acrylic painting, and which during that time I wasn't confident enough to do that. My first painting was a landscape. It's quite complex, and I really do not have much confidence. I used quite a number of I think days or months to complete one painting, just one, and it's not really a big painting. Yeah, probably if I can show you later on, I do not know whether I can share screen. Probably not. I think it's just to let you know that's where I built my confidence, and And after which, I started to paint some of the acrylic paintings based on pictures, photograph, and things like that, and to build my confidence. And recently, over the past 2 years, I have some students, because I have a partner who helped to bring in some students for me to teach art classes. Yeah, it's just on and off that I have a couple of students who like to learn acrylic painting, and they comes to for my class in their own interest, right? So I do teach them on landscaping, on any other things that interest them. So basically, then that's where I started to build on my confidence on art and start to impart my skills to whoever that is interested to learn, as well as slowly branch out to any other mediums, art mediums that I feel I can open up myself instead of keeping myself only on using one mediums. And I feel that strongly art is also a therapy to many people, right? Because art is something like it connects to yourself, the inner self, right? That's why I want to speak out of my passion is that when you do arts, it actually helps to heal yourself in a way, because it helps to express yourself. Not many of us can really speak well, right? Or we are not a born well speaker or what, but in the art itself, it can express your emotions and whatever things that come out from you. It strongly connects to you, right? Sometimes people do art as a form of therapy, as a form of expressing yourself out of whatever emotions that you have. And you can actually do a painting which you do not control. You do not need to control. The moment that you control your brushes on your hand is something that is not coming from yourself. So I always like them to connect to themselves, to feel what is real for themselves, rather than use your brain, because we are all conditioned, right? We are all conditioned from young that everything must be right. So for art, there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. I always tell my students, I say, don't think that whatever you paint looks ugly, right? I mean, you don't need to be an artist to paint. It can be anyone, right? As long as you take out your brush with any paint mediums, whatever mediums that you have, right? You just start to paint, and you just need to connect to yourself. That's all. Yeah, that's about being what I have to share with you on art. Mhm.
Thank you, Alan. 5 minutes,
Thank you.
10 seconds. Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I love your sharing.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's receive some feedback from our friends to see how this is the first time you are speaking to this audience, and I think you do not speak very often, so I can tell you are a little bit not so polished as someone like David or Jose, so or Tony, yeah. But that's a reason for speaking, because we have to learn. Just like painting, we got to eventually flow from our hearts.
Yes, I
having to
agree.
control so much. So let's get some feedback. I think Kim seemed to be very ready to share something. She has unmuted herself.
Okay. For me, quite different. I enjoy your speech, and one thing that from your speech tells me that you are a very determined person. Really go to the extra mile to really persevere in your painting. But only thing that I feel is, why don't you, since you're so keen, why don't you go for your interest instead? This is what I feel, because the way you talk shows that you are very passionate in this art, and it expresses your emotion, and it can heal yourself. So it's quite convincing and interesting talk. So I just felt, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Excellent observation, Kim. Thank you very much for sharing. Who else want to share some feedback? Oh, David. Okay, David, thank you.
Of course, everybody's going to get sick and tired of hearing from me as usual. Alan,
Yes.
very well done. If this was a very early speech, well done, because you kept me engaged in the speech all the way through. And I've got a few interesting little points for you on ways to improve your presentation and also give you an opportunity to also advertise on marketing as you give this speech and this style speech. First of all, you're using a cell phone, right? Because I'm
using mobile
like
phone.
this.
Yeah, that's right.
Put your camera like this, your phone like this, okay? Because there you go. Because it broadens out the whole look of everything. It gets you more focused and centered, and it makes you look more like everybody else, okay? Second thing is, if you can move to a computer, because I don't know if Zoom's actually fixed this problem yet, you can't change your background on a phone, I think. I don't know whether you can or not yet. But if you're on a computer, you can change your background instantaneously if you know how to do it. So I'm going to demonstrate. So here we go, map of risk, a desert beach, which is not working, there you go. Me in a glider, me as a little kid, me as a, oh no, not me as a cat. This is my cat friend from Denmark. Okay, so I'm showing you this as an example because tonight is Agora, South Africa. And the interim president there is a guy called Chris Callahan, who's also an artist. And he has been working on his artwork since the 1970s. So he's a grand old man of Agora, just like Peng and Charan. What Chris does is, between segments of the meeting, he changes his background. His background is always one of his paintings. So I've seen paintings of lions, zebras, water buffalo. I've seen a painting he did recently about the Ukraine war. I've seen paintings of women he's done in the past, stuff like that. And he did a speech about his art history. And what he did was he changed his background every few minutes, okay, as he was going along the speech. So his background related to the stage he was at in his artwork and his progression through his artwork. And you could do the same sort of thing. Don't be scared about putting anything up. I mean, look at that for an ugly mug, you know? So, you know, as long as it's what you're talking about, you can change the slides in your speech. And also there's other techniques you can use as well. Like you can position your body before you start speaking. So you're smaller and out of the way so that more of the background is part of what you have. That's the way to do it. And with artwork particularly, because it's you and your work, you need to show it, okay? And with that technique of changing your background, you don't need to share screens. So, and you don't need to risk the complication of trying to show a YouTube video or a piece of art on your computer, which sometimes causes problems and can hose you up a little bit. So that's one technique. And also what I wanted to mention to you, which is not actually about your speech, is I used to be an Uber driver in Detroit many years ago now. And one of my passengers turned out to be an art therapist teacher. And she invited me back to her apartment because my accent, she was so enthralled with it. She'd never met an English person before and was totally engaged with me. But we went to her apartment, we sat and talked, had a coffee, and then she told me about her art therapy. So she set up an easel and a canvas, gave me some paints and a brush and said, have at it, David, just go for it. And so I started just randomly painting as I was talking to her, not really paying attention to the canvas, just slapping colors on. And she said, now look at what you've done. If there's an area of the painting that you really like, then go for that and develop it further. So I've had an art therapy session at 3 o'clock in the morning in Detroit, but you know, that's the way to do it. But that's a very good point. And as Kim said, if this is your passion, if this is what you really care about, go for it, develop it, okay? Above and beyond your daily work and daily routines and speaking at Agora Singapore, market it, talk to friends about it, say, invite them over to have a session with you. And if they're good friends, ask them if you can video the session so you can make use of that to help drive more people to you and show them what it's all about. Because you never know, you might end up with a gem when somebody like Peng walks into your apartment or whatever with a canvas and starts slapping paint on the thing and starts delving deep into something that's bothering him or raising issues or helping him deal with the loss he's going through right now. So do that, okay? Do it, because you've nothing to lose, everything to gain, okay? If you're passionate about what you're working on, it's no longer work, it's a pleasure. And that's the best type of work to have, okay?
Yeah. Thank you very
Back
much.
to you, Ben.
Thank you,
No
David.
problem.
Good feedback. I totally agree with David. Absolutely wonderful feedback. Who else want to share anything with Alan?
Could I share? I'll keep it within 2
Yeah,
minutes.
sure.
Sure. Thank you so much. Ella, I think that you're an engaging speaker, and thank you so much for sharing about your personal passion in art in your speech tonight. So what I really liked was firstly you sharing your personal story, sharing your journey, how you got started, how you progress, and how you're now even helping others. And it helps us to, I think, to connect to you personally and emotionally, to you as the speaker. And the second thing I really liked was you relating to the audience at the end, how this topic about art relates to us as the audience, and how you share how in art we can express our emotions and express ourselves. And in doing so, your speech becomes not just about you, but also about us, how art can be useful for us. So I think that's really well done by you. So I thought that some suggestions to make your sharing even more impactful is, I think you're already aware of this, is showing your art, your own art, right? I like how you're already aware of this. Yeah. So I thought if you could just swing around and show, you don't have to share screen. You can even show us on a handful or just swing around to show us your art. And by doing so, you give us a visual, clear picture of what your art looks like, right? And immediately we are impressed by how you did your art, and all your incredible art is just there to be ready to display and to show us. Another thought that suggestion that you may like to think about is you may want to go slightly deeper, like in your story or your personal sharing, questions like what got you interested in art? What do you like to paint? As you have already shown us is your art. And then what do you enjoy? What was your journey like when you got started in art? So if you could do that, it helps us to understand and appreciate your journey. So you can like paint out that journey for us, so that when we ourselves should get inspired by you to get started out, we know how that journey will be like for us. So in doing so, you paint the way for us as well. So it can be even more inspirational. So I felt all this could help you in your speech become even more impactful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you,
didn't think
Tony.
about that.
Thank you very much, Tony. I really appreciate your sharing. You are very insightful. Thank you. Jose, you got your mouth half open as if there are a lot of words.
Oh,
waiting to come
sorry.
out.
No, the paintings are just so amazing. It got me for a moment, but yeah, wow, those are really amazing. Yes, I love them so much. Oh my God. But
And the large one.
yeah,
This is the biggest one.
Wow.
Wow. Trisha, you got your heart out to us.
Hopefully not lagging.
You're lagging.
I'm proud to share
everyone here. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Hold on a second, folks. Okay, hopefully I really enjoyed the presentation by Alan.
Thank
Alan,
you.
so I can call you Alan, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why is because a lot of the things that Alan has said is something that I really stand for, and I will say my ideology when it comes to art as well. That there's no right and wrong when it comes to art, and that is very, very true. As someone who loves art and does art, but perhaps not a singing form or in a music form. There are lots of teachers out there who say that you need to follow the rules, you need to follow the step-by-step guide and never actually stray away from that. And that is true. If you want to learn the technique, you want to learn the basics, then it's important for us to know the things all step by step. But once you have that foundation, like Alan, with all his wonderful paintings behind that, you can express yourself in any way that you want, which is why I really love the quote. When you're learning art or music, you need to learn rules. But once you want to create art, you have to break them. That is one of my favorite quotes. And I can see that Alan, the embodiment of that is said in that quote. Okay.
Thank
I
you,
am
Trisha.
I'm looking at the audience just in case if I still hear me. Your speech was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Back to
Oh,
you, Van Peng.
Thank
I would
you.
like to
Thank
also
you.
say a few things, Ban Peng, because I also agree. A lot of what Alan said, I totally agree with it, because a lot of people, usually they are so judgmental, and some of those people usually don't like art because they are too judgmental to actually see the meaning behind the paintings, the meaning behind the song, the music. And the way we appreciate art is just invaluable. It's so precious and it depends on the person. So I think that way, Alan is so engaging to the audience because it is so relatable and we could actually applicate it in our daily lives. So thank you to you, Alan. And I would love for you to be my art teacher very much because I can't draw people.
Thank you
You
very
have your
much.
first online art class from
Online
Indonesia.
art class. Please teach me how to draw a person because I usually draw them like a monkey.
No worries, no worries, no worries. No pressure, no pressure.
Okay, Alan. I really appreciate the feedback. I agree with the sharing. I think they are spot on, and I
Yeah.
want to give you some ideas for consideration.
Sure.
Okay. First is a technical skills area. Technical in that you have quite a number of pause failures. And and
Yeah.
right? Sometimes, especially when you're new, you'll find that it happens, and there's nothing much you can do about that. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that you can do about it. When you're speaking and then you are at a little bit lost, for example, you just do like me. Keep quiet. Don't say the don't say the ah. And
Okay.
sometimes you pretend to look like you're thinking. And the audience will feel that, wow, this man, he's trying to think of the perfect word to describe something, right? So they don't know that actually I'm lost.
Right.
So that
Nice.
that is one way
Okay.
to stop the and the ahs. Now, second, of course, sharing screen is one way to show, because in your case, the art pieces are really interesting. So I like you to share, but there are many different ways to share screen. My own favorite way is something like this. Hold on. Okay, for example, right? So I don't share screen in that way, but I share screen in this way as a backdrop, for example. I'm conducting training, right? So as I speak, I don't change the PowerPoint slide the way people do it, but I'll change this way, for example, right? And then I can continue with my training. Right, I think this one, Margen attended this training that I conducted. So it's an easier way, and I find it better than the other way of sharing screen. So that's the second technical thing I want to share with you. I want to encourage you to explore the different technical facilities available in Zoom. Now let me get back to my screen. The third is a commercial advice. Okay. I really like this idea of art as a therapy. Okay, I really like the idea very much. I think it works. It works. So I propose you write down this. Write down this.
Okay.
Called painting therapy.
Painting
Okay,
therapy.
I want you to conduct a course called
Okay.
painting therapy.
Okay.
Now, I can even help you organize class because there is a need. You have a solution to a problem. There are many people in Singapore, especially, I do not know whether in other countries you have, they are suffering from depression. They are suffering from anxiety. They are suffering from stress. They are suffering from so many different things. And you have a solution to this problem. Okay, I'm with an organization called Singapore Association for Continuing Education. And I'm also conducting classes there.
Okay.
I do not make a lot of money because it's a non-profit thing, but it gives me a lot of pleasure to be able to help other people. So if you can drop me a short WhatsApp message with your email address, I'll send you, there's a form that you need to fill up, and you can call me, I help you to fill up the form, and then we will process your course. We will publicize your course, we'll get students for you. Okay, so I think
appreciate that.
painting therapy helps. I think you can really help. Oh, David, you raised your hand. Sorry, David, please.
Yes. One thing I was holding it back on, but since Bang Peng was talking about your speaking voice, etc. Watch for the Singlish. Okay.
Oh, Singlish.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually conducted classes to reduce Singlish in Singaporeans before. And the biggest one is the TH sound. So when you said therapy, okay, should be actually therapy. Therapy. Okay. Yes, that's a lot better. So Bang Peng said it better. But therapy, definitely you want to try and do that when you do public speaking, because not everybody around the world is used to Singlish. I am after spending 2 years with you guys, but that's with TH sound, and it's not just Singapore that has problems with that sound. The Irish, the nation of Ireland has a problem with that sound as well, and in India it's mispronounced, and various other countries around the world. So, but just try it. So, say the 3 times I say the third word, and it's therapy. Okay, so if you can master that sentence, all right, you'll be okay. So back to you, Bang Peng.
Thank you.
Good
yes,
observation.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. No, art therapy now they tend to apply it to the daycare, the senior daycare also. So they use art therapy for the client. So your art therapy will be very useful, especially in the senior daycare or.
Yeah, Alan, you have to pay me 10% commission for all your income from art therapy. No, you can write to all the community centers, all the senior citizen centers, whatever, and even to the prisons and those drug rehabilitation, whatever. All of us, I mean, many people need it. So there's a ready market. It's just that you need to learn how to market it.
Okay.
Yeah, then you can contact David or Kim or whoever. I think we'll all be very happy to see what we can do to help you move forward in that area. Thank you.
Appreciate a lot. Yeah, appreciate. Thank
So
you.
you remember when you make your $1 million, yeah, you buy a half a piece of Picasso or something, share with us.
No worries.
Okay, thank you. Now, anybody, we should present a speech. Jose, are you ready? Or
Oh, sorry, Peng. I'm not speaking for today. I'm just
okay,
here to observe. It's been a long time since I came to Singapore, so I dropped by, you know.
thank you for
Mm.
coming. I appreciate that. Tony, I invite you to introduce yourself because you give very insightful feedback, and I want to know a little bit more about you.
Hi everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry I had my video off because I was sneaking some moments to grab some bites of food while everyone is having fun. So I was just listening in. So yes, I'm Joni and I'm from Singapore, obviously, and I'm someone who is painfully introverted before I joined a movement called Toastmasters, and it helped me with my comfort zone because previously I was a very shy boy. I would stay at home while others is having fun. I was already someone who was very self-conscious, self-conscious, and I kept thinking whether I said the wrong thing, whether I'm doing the wrong thing. It was only after I joined Toastmasters that I realized there is a role called the evaluator role. So you don't have to worry if you do the wrong thing. The evaluator will tell you if you do something wrong. It's meant to be a joke. So it is something very conducive. So we know that everyone is very encouraging. Everyone is very empowering. And I find that similarly in Agora here, we are so encouraging and so empowering because we all want another to achieve success. And that's why we are all in here together to help and support one another. And I am very inspired by Peng. I know he's a very legendary figure in Singapore. So I've been wanting to come and attend. I've been sneaking around, listening to everyone and learning from everyone. So this is my first time getting to speak here tonight. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Tony.
Can I ask you, Tony, how long were you a Toastmaster, or are you a Toastmaster?
Yes, I am a Toastmaster for the past 6 to 7 years. Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
that explains it. I knew there was something going on with that evaluation.
They are trained to give.
Yeah, Tony, you're a little bit too good to be a total rookie, that's for sure. So.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, but I was a Toastmaster for 16 years, and as I said, was, because I'm not anymore. I find that Agora is a lot more friendly, a lot more flexible, and a lot more diverse, a heck of a lot more diverse. And with these Zoom meetings we've had for the last 2 years, I've been totally spoiled because I've only ever been to one physical Agora meeting, and that was in Singapore back in June. And now in the Philippines, it doesn't have Agora yet. But I found with these Zoom meetings, you get to meet people from all over the world constantly. And I'm currently, tonight I'm going to South Africa. Friday night we have a Filipino-based, because I started the club last week, we have a game evening on Friday nights now. And we had 11 people last week, and I'm hoping to get more this week. So everybody, I'll put a post on the Agora Singapore WhatsApp group about where to join and how to join it. But basically it's 9:30 on a Friday night. So if you're not doing anything and you're bored, come and join us for the games and everything like that. Jose was a member of that last week, and we're getting going even more this week. Pulcham from Mauritius is my shares the game master role with me. So it's really a lot of fun. Then I'm also in Agora Youth Achievers in Indonesia, which Kev Jose is a star of, and Trisha, who's back in the room. Trisha is the mama role in that organization. And then there's a debating club in Mauritius, which is Saturday afternoons. Then there's Canada, which is at midnight if you're here in Singapore time zone. Then there's Romania on Sunday afternoon in Singapore time. and then we're back to Monday. So yeah, there's plenty of opportunities to go to clubs all over the world. And once you remember one club, you can go to all the clubs if you can, which is a bit tough, but so that's how I get my speaking fix now. Yes, I'm on a treatment program for it right now. So, but yeah, welcome aboard. Glad this is your first meeting. Hope to see you again and travel the world with Agora. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Jose, you are muted. I think you are saying something, but you were muted.
No, don't question me. I always do that. I know it's weird, but I usually do that. I make comments when I'm muted.
Okay. David, I propose you share your handphone number, your WhatsApp number with like Tony or Alan and Kim, for example. Share on the chat group so that they can keep in touch with you, and you can also invite them to the various places that you are visiting. So you can visit like Japan or Cambodia or Romania, South Africa, Canada. They will welcome you. So if you can speak Spanish, you can visit the Spanish-speaking clubs as well. So it's very good for networking, just to get more friends, diverse views from different people. And also, if you are into business, that will be very good business contact as well. So if you are into business, you have to sell your artwork or whatever, or find ways to build your art business, then that will be another good communication channel, right? You can visit Indonesia. There are quite a number of clubs in Indonesia as well. So plenty of opportunity. So come to Agora. Okay, we have another about an hour to go, and I will. Okay, take note of David's number. She has just posted on the chat group. So if you want, copy and save it somewhere. If not, you can get it from me. I think I have it somewhere in my handphone as well. Okay, now we want to do.
By the way, if you contact me, let me know your name and where you're from as you introduce yourself. Otherwise, you know, it could be a scammer or anything else, and I could block you. So just say I'm from Agora, Singapore. This is my name, my number, and then I'll put you in my phone. And everybody I've contacted through Agora has got the name Agora after your name. So when I'm doing a shout out for a club or, you know, an emergency meeting, or, you know, I've even done things like South Africa. We had a problem one time with the Zoom call. We couldn't get into the regular Zoom. So I have Zoom, the professional version. And so I sent messages far and wide on the new Zoom meeting that I'd established for them. So that's why I got the thing going on Friday. So yeah, anybody can call me or message me.
Next, we have about another hour or so, or half an hour at least. And I invite David to conduct a short session. We call it Hot Topics. So all of you are allowed to speak on the topic that David will be introducing, and you need not prepare anything. Okay, David, please take over.
All right, no problem, Peng. As if I haven't talked enough, I'm going to do the hot topics. So, all right. This hot topics has a little bit of a twist to it. Let me zoom in a bit more. There we go. So I am a big Manchester United fan, and as you may know or may not know, Sir Alex Ferguson was their manager for almost 26 years, and he was the most successful soccer manager of one club, or football manager of one club in the history of the game. And I watched a documentary on Sir Alex talking at the London Business School, and I noted down words or phrases that were connected with him. So these are 50 or so different phrases connected with Sir Alex Ferguson. And when I have volunteers, you will talk for 1 to 2 minutes about the word or the phrase that comes up. Now, there's an additional twist. If you're an experienced speaker, like Peng, like Jose, like Trisha, if she's still in the room, you have an additional option which is, if this comes out good, it'll be a miracle, but which is to speak in a certain style. So not just your normal voice, whatever, that's easy, but speak in the style of a 3-year-old. Do your hot topic as a 3-year-old. Or do it as a French person. So, mais oui, I put a French accent in and I put some French words in occasionally. So it's up to you what you want to do. So you can take the more difficult route or the easy route. So, all right. So, come on, lad. Oh. All right. So put your hand up or wave at me if you want to attempt a hot topic. Seeing no one, I will pick Peng first, okay? Because he will demonstrate it very well, and he never gets to speak as a public speaker. He's always the meeting leader. He's always the advisor, the evaluator. Let's hear him speak, okay? And you don't have a choice, Peng. I'm going to give you a style to speak in. So here we go.
Good luck, Peng.
No sweat.
You'll need
no
it.
sweat. No sweat. I
Okay.
can do it.
Your topic is point to the top of the mountain. What does that mean to you? Okay, point to the top of the mountain, and you've got to do it in the style of a caveman. Speak about pointing to the top of the mountain as if you're a caveman. Okay, good luck. 1 to 2 minutes.
The top of the mountain. Everybody want to point and go to the top of the mountain. The view from the top of the mountain is so beautiful. You can see far, you can see wide, you can see over the valley, across the river, and even under the trees. But why would you want to do that? Why would anyone be so silly to climb up to the top of the mountain? All the food, the water, the shelter are all at the bottom, at the foot of the mountain. So you can point to the top of the mountain, you can climb to the top of the mountain, you can fall down and die even from the mountain top. But why? Why not stay with me in the valley where there's plenty of food, animals to hunt and eat, and water aplenty, and there are caves to sleep in? Thank goodness, David, don't ever climb to the top of the mountain. Don't point anyone to the top of the mountain. Stay with me at the bottom in the valley where it is safe for all of you. Thank you for listening to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Peng. That was great. Now, let me just tell you real quick. They said about Sir Alex Ferguson that he always pointed to the top of the mountain. The mountain was always the peak of achievement and the goal that you should reach for in life and business and whatever. And so he'd always point the way to the top of the mountain in whatever field or whichever position, if you're goalie or a forward or whatever, he'd point you to the top of the mountain and keep your eyes on that. And so you should in life. So anyway, who wants to volunteer next? Anyone? All right, so nobody does. Okay, then I get to pick you.
May I
All right,
volunteer
let's.
next? Because
I can't.
sorry, may I volunteer next? Because I may need to go off shortly. Is Tony here?
Sure. Okay, Tony. Do you want to make it more difficult or just want the easy one?
I can't do bumping style. He's too legendary for me. I'll keep it simple.
All right, good. No pressure. No pressure. So All right. I want you to talk about the judge and what the judge means to you.
The judge. Thank you so much, David, for your topic. I find it pretty coincidental that I got the topic of the judge, because right now in Toastmasters, we are having contests. And in contests, there are usually judges. And there was a popular quote that just went around about how those who understand don't judge, and those who judge don't understand. And sometimes this is an issue that comes about not just in life, but in Toastmasters as well, because for those of us who happen to be in Toastmasters, we might all know that judges don't really get proper and official training, as you get a certain qualification. As long as you're a member in good standing, you can judge. And if you bring this to life as well, we don't need any authority, we don't need any credibility to judge someone. And so I think in terms of doing that, sometimes we have to be careful to take some time to be aware of some people's situation or some people's circumstances or some people's challenges in life before we make any snap judgments about the decisions they make in their life, about the lifestyles, about the choices they make. Because many times we only get to know people at the surface level. We only know them at the superficial level. We see them in how they speak. We see them in how they dress. We see them in how they convey ourselves. But beneath all that, we don't know what is their background like. We don't know what is their culture like. We don't know who and what they have come from. And so in doing so, before we judge, I think, as the quote has said, we should strive to understand first before we make a judgment about others. Thank you so much for your topic, David.
Thank you, Tony. Very, very good. Very interesting. I was a Toastmaster for way too long, but 3 years in a row, I did district training on how to be a judge for competitions. And we had that in our district in Detroit. Every year we ran judging classes because of that problem. If you've never had to judge a competition or been in a position of judging anything, it's exactly as you say. Those that judge don't care. So, but I don't want to get too far on the subject of judging because I've got very strong opinions of it. And moving on. So thank you so much, Tony. Who wants to volunteer next before I start pointing fingers at people? A Canuck, our Canadian friend. All right. Unmute yourself, Kev. All right.
I was actually saying goodbye to Tony, but okay, I can take it.
Oh,
Wow. I guess I'm the
okay.
sacrificial lamb here. Okay, David,
Right.
hit me.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Okay, here we go. That was the name of the song, by the way, in the 70s in England. All right. Do you know anything about shipyards, or shall I spin again for you?
I know it's a place for ships. I don't know anything else.
All right. Well, the funny thing, Gabriella in Romania, who's the Romanian Agora ambassador, she didn't know anything about shipyards, and she was so funny. So anyway, I'll eliminate that for you, and I'll spin again.
Okay, thank you. I swear to God, if I have the executioner again, I'm going to faint.
Jose, you should speak on shipyard. Speak on something you totally have no idea about and pretend you know it well.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
go for it.
Okay.
Do you want me to complicate it for you and give you a style to speak in? Yes, because you're a world champion. You should be able to.
Oh wow, the pressure. Sure. I'll try my best. Okay. Strength as a leader. Okay. What do I get?
Darth Vader. Darth Vader.
Can I even get words out? You would only hear my breath.
Well, you got to have the breath in. You're the man.
Okay.
All right.
A leader is someone that is so responsible. They have everything you need. They are your role model. They are the perfect person you would look up to. And they would just command you at any point, and they are someone that leads you in the battlefield. And that is me. I am Darth Vader. And as a leader, I have the responsibility to take command of my fleet to destroy the Republican. This is getting out of hand. I'm gonna stop it at that. I'm not good at skits. Thank you so much, David. Trisha is gonna have a lot of laugh in this.
That's fascinating because you wanted to destroy the Republican. So that
I mean,
means
I'm Darth Vader, so
you're a
that's
Democrat then in America?
not in that. I'm questioning
because-
myself at this point.
I'm sorry, I love Star Wars, but it was the Republic, the old Republic that.
Oh
who
yeah,
that's
the old
destroying.
Republic. I'm so sorry. I'm not a Star Wars.
Not the Republicans.
Guess I'm not good
but,
at
you know,
pretending as well.
It's okay. Oh, what a fun.
Thank you, but so thank you so much, David.
No problem. Anybody else want to go next? Again, I can't see everybody, so I don't know who's still here and who's not. But Alan, yes, you're
Alan
a
can do it.
TM. You're a toasty master. Yeah, you can do it. All right, Alan, you are next. Don't blame me, blame Bang Peng. All right. Oh, and Bang Peng, can you time, please?
It's okay. We'll give them 2 minutes.
Okay, 1 to 2 minutes. All right. And the subject for you today, Alan, is I'm going to do a different one because I don't like that one. It's too difficult. Nobody's been able to have a good answer for that one. So. An inspirational figure. So talk about an inspirational figure. And do you want a different style to talk with or not?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Inspirational figure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Or do
Okay.
you want a
I'm
different
all right.
style?
I'm all right. I'm all right with this. Okay, right. So just to start off with, I'm always inspired by I think you have heard about this artist named Van Gogh. Van Gogh, right? So I like his painting, though he's died young, and I said to, because I have this chance working in the Art Science Museum at this Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. I work as a security officer, and I have to work shift, night shift especially. And this during that time, there's an exhibition on Van Gogh paintings. I find it really inspirational to me, and especially during the middle of the night when I was staring at his painting with nobody else, because I had the privilege to look at their paintings in the middle of night with no other public who can gain access to the museum. So I was there looking at the paintings and trying to visualize myself during that time, how was the painting being done and how he painted those paintings. That was very fresh in my mind. And I also painted his face on a book. Actually, I was not supposed to do so, but then I was inspired and I was almost getting crazy because, you know, when you are really obsessed with arts, you can really go crazy at times. Because once you're out of control and you go to the extreme of you go to the extreme mouse, like you prove yourself, you wanted to do more than usual, that you want to break through. That's where you get very I can say out of your mind experience, right? So that's what I want to say about my inspirational figures from Van Gogh. Yeah.
Very nice. Very, very nice. So let me ask you this, Alan. Are you planning to cut your ear off anytime soon?
Sorry?
Are you planning to cut your ear off anytime soon?
Can you rephrase your questions? I don't get it really. Sorry.
Van Gogh is famous because he cut his ear off for one of his
I'm
girlfriends.
not going to do that. I'm not going to do that for sure.
Okay, all right. Good. I'm glad you're not too inspired by him then. So
No.
it would be a bloody mess. By the way, Americans call Van Gogh Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. So I'm quite sad. Yeah.
No, but the correct pronunciation is Van Gogh because it's Dutch. So
Alright.
that's the correct pronunciation. So that's one thing that Singaporeans, British, and other people do well, and Americans don't. So anyway, very good, very nice speech. Obviously, to his players and fans and supporters, Sir Alex Ferguson was a very inspirational person. So they were talking the Leadership Institute as a leader and a manager. You have to be inspirational to your staff at various times because you have to uplift them, you have to guide them in the right direction and things like that. So, okay. Who else have we got? Trisha, I know that you're having internet issues, so we might just hear you instead of hear you and see you. But
all right, okay. I'll try and turn on. Let's see if the internet is willing to work with me right now. I
All
think.
right.
Okay.
You're clear. Yep.
Everyone's still moving.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, then I will take the chance. Oh boy, this looks like a very
All right.
intimidating wheel.
Give her style.
Ooh.
Give her style.
Reflective
oh, yeah,
self-analysis.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know
right.
what? Do you know what that even means?
Perhaps it would be good to get some explanation on it first, just in case.
Yeah, I will tell you, but I'll also intimidate you because you're a world champion too. So you need this as well.
Wow.
Speak like you're someone else in the room. Okay.
100.
So you can choose me or Charan or Peng or Alan or speak in the style of the Canadian himself. Okay.
Someone else in the room.
Don't tell us who it is. Let us guess after you finish speaking.
Oh
okay?
my god.
Okay, how many people are in the room at the moment?
6.
Okay, well
Except
then.
you. Oh, with you. So 5. Five options.
Okay.
Don't tell us who you're speaking like, okay? But let me just explain reflective self-analysis for you, which is not typical of doing hot topics, but sometimes it's needed. A reflective self-analysis is when, say for example, you're in an orchestra, okay, and the orchestra screws up in some way and doesn't do a very good performance. Reflective self-analysis is where you look at your own performance in isolation of the performance of everybody else. So you're reflecting that and thinking about yourself and your own performance rather than blaming everybody else and trying to get trying to shift the blame away from you so that you don't have to change or improve. When you do reflective self-analysis, and especially with speaking, you can do this every time you speak. Think about what you said and how you said it and how you can improve. It doesn't matter what the evaluators tell you, you should be doing it yourself as well all the time, because that's the way you can improve. Okay, so
basically, yes,
so
yes,
tell us about something to do with that, but you've got to do it in the style of one of the 5 of us gentlemen. All right, that includes the Canadian. So so pick one of us, but don't tell us who it is, and then we'll have to guess afterwards.
All right. Okay? So just to recap everything, self-reflective analysis is being able to reflect on what you have done, and seeing what you can do better. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I am still picking somebody at the moment, but all right. Okay, good evening, my fellow friends, and our President Canadian as well, definitely. I would like to talk a little bit about self-reflective analysis. Now, if you think about it, I have many things that I've done in my life. I have been to the Philippines, I have traveled all around the world. I even have a plane in my back right here, and you can see my younger self, and perhaps I have a hat behind me as well. And I can safely say that I have a lot of things that I wish I could have done better in the past. One of them is my previous wife as well. We used to play D&D all the time, and there was a time where I decided to act out as my character that wasn't perhaps in the most pleasurable way for her indeed, and that did make me rethink a lot about my choices back then. So that is why I decided to prove myself, to be better, as always, in the future as well. And when I hold these games, these campaigns with my previous wife, my ex-wife, or perhaps a lot of my other friends, it would be a lot better as well. So it's very, very important for us to have self-reflective analysis. Or not, you will never be able to achieve what you really want in life, just like how I did with my ex-wife. So thank you very much, everyone. I'd like to return this back over to the impromptu leader.
Oh my God.
I think we can all get to it.
I'm
Then.
very sorry, David.
I asked for that. I deserve that right in the middle of my head, right? Oh my God. Wow. And the other thing is, Trisha, you know way too much about me. Way too much.
It's not that we know too much. You say too much, David.
Yeah.
We know way.
That too.
This
That
is what
too.
happens.
Oh my God. I might have to
decided to
retire
choose.
from Agora pretty soon. Oh my God. Is there anything that nobody doesn't know about me by now?
I think that's an impossible thing to find.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Thank you so much, Trisha. That was so funny. And having my whole life exposed by you, that's great.
Summary of David. There you go. Oh boy, that was fun. Also to,
was great.
practice my British accent as well, because I realized that I
Yeah.
have been more Americanized than ever.
Yeah, you are getting more American, that's for sure. And I'm sure that Gracie, by the time she gets back from traveling the world, she'll have an even better English accent too. So, all right. So we have, thank you, Trisha. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Scary.
Yeah, well, we do need to talk though. Okay, not about this though. So anyway, Charan, you're the last one to go, so you have no choice. I'll eliminate that one so you don't get it again, and we'll spin the wheel for you. And okay, choose between the individual talk about how the individual is more important than the organization. Okay. And do you want a style to speak in, or do you just want to go with your natural self?
I think I'll start speaking.
Okay. All right. Individual over the organization. Over to Charan.
Good evening, fellow Agorians. When you are working with an organization, you're part of the organization. And you have to contribute to the organization to make it a better place for you to work, not only for yourself, but also for your colleagues. And you should also try to improve your knowledge about how organization works to better benefit other people who are your customers. And if you keep on improving it, and your colleagues also help you to improve the organization, you'll have the best organization in the world. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Very good. So thank you everybody for being good sporting people, and thank you Trisha. That was one of the most amazing because it was directed at me, about me and everything. It's truly amazing. And I don't know if I am breaking up or not. Probably I am, because
No, no.
okay. Back
Well,
over
for
you,
the
Bang.
record, David, I think I should tell it to you as well, but you are an amazing speaker. Like, from all the things that I said about perhaps the things that past experiences, they don't got anything on you now. So I should have put that impression as well. David is now one of the best uncles, one of the best people, mentors out there. And that's something that you should also admit, David. So forget about all the things that I said in my speech. Those are all in the past.
Oh, thank you, Trisha. But
Okay.
yeah, she does know me well. Back over to you, Bang Peng.
Yeah, David, I want you to speak on one topic before we go. And the topic is, what is the most important lesson I have learned in life?
Use a caveman style.
Ooh, all right, for the Canadian, I will do it. This is my club. The sauce bottle, but it's a club. I'll go out and kill lion or a mountain lion or a bear or something. Anyway, the most important thing I've learned in life is never to give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. And I remember a Canadian friend did a similar speech about this subject, but it's very, very important. When I was born, I was fine. I was a normal, healthy baby, but 6 months later, God gave me this. This is my right hand, which some of you heard me talk about this before. I had meningitis when I was 6 months old. I was given 24 hours to live. And my doctors told my mother a whole bunch of stuff that I wouldn't be able to do. And she said, not on my watch. My son's going to have the best opportunity he possibly can, and he's going to try his best to fight through everything. And so it's been. I have had these problems with my feet since I was in Singapore for the last 2 years. I went to Europe at the end of last year for 5 months to try and fix it. I almost got fixed 3 different times, but because of rules and regulations in Europe, the limitations of my friends I was staying with and various other things, I couldn't do it. And I came back to Singapore. My feet got worse again within days of being in Singapore with the heat and the humidity. And then out of the blue, out of nowhere, this opportunity comes to Singapore, not Singapore, not Indonesia either, you guys. But this opportunity to come to the Philippines came up, and I came here, and within a week or two, my feet started getting dramatically better. So that's a speech in itself. But don't give up on yourself. The challenges that life throws at you will be there, and they'll keep coming up. And just when you think you're on top of everything, something else will go wrong. Keep going. And set yourself goals and targets that you can achieve. Some that you can achieve fairly easily, some will be lifelong challenges and lifelong goals that you may never hit, but keep striving towards them. Constant continuous education is another thing that I firmly believe in. You always have an opportunity to learn at any age, okay? Our youngest member here tonight was 13. Our oldest member here tonight is 81. That's a huge span of time. And we're all here to learn and improve. And there's no reason why you can't stop learning and improving. And we all have something to offer. We all give to each other every time we open our mouths. Either speaking, doing a hot topic, giving advice, giving an evaluation, leading the meeting, whatever it is, you have an opportunity to help somebody else learn. Do it, go for it, and don't give up, don't stop. And also, we're public speakers, and we're here to improve our public speaking. Peng runs the meeting so that he can speak all the time and nobody can stop him. All right? Admit it, Peng. That's why you do it. I evaluate everybody. If nobody puts their hand up to evaluate, I think personally that's rude of the audience. We're all public speakers. We all have an opinion on what the speaker just did. Give it. Okay? And if nobody else puts their hand up, I do. To make sure some feedback is given, Peng and I will always give the feedback if nobody else does. And that's what it's all about. It's not just speaking, it's getting feedback and improving yourself. And so that's very, very important. So that's why you hear me so much and too much and people get sick of me. In Canada, they don't even let me speak anymore. I got to volunteer the week before. Otherwise, I don't speak. I just sit there because they know I'll just speak and speak and speak and speak. And that's what it's all about. I remember in one Toastmasters meeting, the Vice President of Education stood up and he was getting frustrated by people not doing things. And he said, you know, in the average Toastmasters meetings, there's 21 opportunities per meeting for somebody to speak. And every little bit, even the Sergeant at Arms who says, call the meeting to order, it's now 6 o'clock, we are starting the meeting, over to you, Mr. President. That's an opportunity to speak, even that little bit. And then at the close of the meeting, the Sergeant at Arms says the meeting is now closed. It's the gavel and away you go. 21 opportunities. In this meeting, there's hundreds of opportunities because we had 4 or 5 speakers today. We had everybody in the room could have spoken 5 times at least, evaluating or giving a little clip of information to the speaker. And why not? Why not, people? Okay, so never give up on yourself. Keep going through thick and thin, no matter what happens. Earthquakes, typhoons. I've had 2 typhoons, by the way, so far as well. Different countries, different places, different meetings, different jobs you may have, different partners. I've had 2 wives, different children, all sorts of different things you have. And there's problems. And anyway, time's up. So back over to you, Peng.
No, not time's up. I'm waving to Ita. Ita is the most committed member.
Hi.
Ita, nice
Welcome,
to see
Ita. You made it in time because we know when you are committed to show up, it doesn't matter what time, you will definitely show up. Thank you very much.
I just finished with my work. Thanks. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Great to see you, Ita. I'm so happy to see you. It's
Glad
been a
to see you
long
too.
time.
I'm so sorry I'm late because I just finished with my work.
Yeah, as a punishment for coming late, we'll get you to speak for 3 minutes. What is the most important thing? What is most important?
Pardon me, Mr. Peng. I don't hear you clearly.
Yeah, when I say it's a punishment, then your ears stop working. I say as a punishment for showing up late, you will have to answer this question. What is most important in life?
I think it's happiness.
Tell us why.
Happiness. Happiness is the most important in life. Happiness means it's not always money. Happy with gather with family, happy gather with friends, happy hanging out with someone. I think happiness is the
Thank you, Ita. Anybody who do not agree with Ita, raise a hand. So everybody agree with you. Happiness is most important. In fact, you'll be so happy counting the many million rupiah you have in your bank account. You'll be even happier. Now, Margen from Philippines. You have not spoken yet. Can I invite you to say a few words? Margen.
Hi.
Okay. Who would like to propose a topic for Margen to speak on? Tell us about my hometown. Speak on the topic, Margen. My hometown. What is so special about your hometown?
Hi, good evening. I am Margen Andolla and I am from the Philippines. I am specifically from Magdalena, Laguna. Laguna is situated in Region 4A, Calabarzon, and Magdalena is my hometown. Magdalena once is a barrio or barangay from its neighbor town, which is named Mahayhay. It is a very historical place since it has been a war place back back in time. There were heroes, national heroes who's been here, and it's been their resting place when they are experiencing some fight against the rebels. And Magdalena is also considered as Little Hollywood of Laguna since it is historical. It has been a tourist spot and a spot for shooting like dramas, television series, and other films. And if you know FPGR Fernando Poe Jr., he was a very famous actor here in the Philippines. He shot his most of his movies here, action movies and historical movies. That's all I can say about my hometown. I'm sorry, I can't hear what are you saying, Mr. Gia.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. I say thank you, Margen, for sharing about your hometown. And we should come and visit the Hollywood near your home.
Yeah, considered as Little Hollywood of Laguna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now I want to welcome Reihana Abdullah. Welcome, welcome. As a punishment for coming late, you shall speak for 5 minutes on what happened to me in the past 1 week. The most interesting thing that happened in the past 1 week. Reihana Abdullah.
What can I say? Life is a mystery. Life is a roller coaster. There's lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of sideways here and there. My life has been like that in the last, maybe not 1 week, more than 1 week. It's been a crazy whirlwind ride. I'm doing crazy things, unexpected things, but I'm having fun at the same time. Pushing my limits, getting out of my comfort zone. And these are some of the things that I have been doing in the last 1 week. Today itself, I went to Food and Hospitality Asia Fair. And it is one of the 6 halls at the expo with all the different kind of food tasting from one to the other. I tell you, you'll never go hungry, even though the portion they give is like this. But by the time you finish with one hall, you're totally full. So it was a crazy experience today. And that's why I am late today, because I just got back home from the exhibition. Yeah. It's good to be back.
Miss you very much, Reihana.
We miss you, Reihana. You have
I
such
miss all of you.
great speaking voice. Okay, we have come to about the end of our meeting. So I'm glad you came for the closing ceremony. this is the chance for anyone who wish to make an announcement or want to say something. You have 2 minutes to make your announcement, to share, to send invitation, to do whatever before we leave. David, you raise your hand.
Yes, Peng. I want to make an announcement about the upcoming Friday night club. I decided that Friday nights were pretty boring in the world of Agora. There wasn't much going on. So to remedy that, last week I flung together an impromptu meeting. I sent invitations out to every club that I could and most individuals that I could find very quickly. And within 2 hours, we had a little meeting going. 11 people showed up, and it was a lot of fun. It finished about 2 o'clock in the morning, Singapore time. There's no end time for this meeting. It's not a standard regular meeting. There's no agenda even. All we do is talk and chat and play games. The central structure is playing games and table topics and things like that. If you want to do a prepared speech, we can certainly put it on the agenda, but there's no agenda to be had until we get to the meeting and somebody shows up. You can do anything you want as long as it's PG rated and nice and friendly and not aggressive. And we don't do any hate stuff or anything like that, but we play a lot of games and we had a lot of fun last time. Our Canadian down the bottom of the screen was the only member here that was at that full meeting. And I think Trisha showed up temporarily. Of course, the core of it was Indonesian youth, but that's fine because there's so much fun and so entertaining. So if you're bored on a Friday night anywhere in the world, or even a Friday morning for that matter, because it was the morning in Canada and America at that time, stop by, have some fun, smile, and enjoy yourself. So I will be posting an official invitation in the next 48 hours to all the different clubs, all the different people. You might get 2 or 3 invitations across your deck, but please come and attend. It's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be a regular meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Reihana, did you raise your hand? Unmute yourself.
Okay, so I'm doing many events, and upcoming is 16th October. I'm having a Diwali extravaganza event. I invite all of you to come. I'll send out the invitations. Tickets are at $10. But you get a lot of excitement because we're going to have a cultural program as well. We're going to have dinner. We're going to have lots of stalls at our event. And if anyone wants to participate at one of our stalls, please do let me know as well. And we encourage small businesses, especially home-based businesses, to we want to support them, so we encourage them to sign up for these stalls. They can share a stall and split the cost. Is fine. It's not very expensive. But what we want to do is showcase handicrafts, their own homemade craft, because we want to encourage this entrepreneurial spirit in this home-based business and give them some positive optimism that they can also, do well. So this is our second motive. We have actually, this is our social cause in a way to encourage people and support them in their business as well. So do let me know if you know of any business that would benefit from this interaction, and we have already got the audience for them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alan, you should sign up immediately.
Alan, you raise your hand.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I'm interested to go to the store. I think I want to share with my coffee painting. Right over there. Using coffee powder to do painting. It's super fun there.
Okay, you must
just share
exchange. You must exchange phone number with Reihana now in the chat.
Yes.
Right.
You can take down my number 90214952.
Slow down, slow down.
9021
4952.
Okay, thank you.
Reihana,
Got it.
Abdullah.
If not, you can contact Mr. Gay. He'll know how to find me.
or me.
Or David, or Mr. Singh. Practically everyone knows me.
Reihana is famous.
Yeah. And who was that? Sorry, who am I speaking to?
I'm Alan here.
Hi, Alan. Great. I'll get in touch with you.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Reihana, I will show up if you buy my ticket from the Philippines to Manila. I mean Manila to Singapore. Otherwise, good luck with it.
Mr. Singh, I suppose you are coming also. Mr. Singh always supports all my events, you know. He's always there at every event that I do.
Yeah, it's worth supporting you. You always have good events.
Great, great, great. Good to see everyone. Our next meeting is physical meeting, right?
Yeah, we have a physical meeting, and please feel free to come. Yeah, if there's no further announcement, Ita, are you going to announce anything or invite us to visit you?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peng. I don't think have invitation. I just miss you all, and I try to join with this club tonight, and very glad to see you all. I'm happy. I have a friend like you all. The most important in my life is happy. Happy is not always about money. Happy with friends. Happy having a lot of people around us, having to see you all having healthy, right? I think it's happy. I pray to God I hope all of you get your happiness, get your healthy, and live well with your family, with everybody around you all. Thank you.
Thank
Miss you all.
Thank you everyone for coming. If there are no further announcements, invitations,
No, Mr. Peng.
Yeah, we will end the meeting here.
I just miss you all, and I joined even though it's late.
Oh, please, you are
I'm
always
so sorry,
welcome.
I'm late.
No, don't be sorry. We are just happy you are here. Thank you for coming, and good night, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.
Have you taken a picture, Mr. Gay? Have you taken a picture?
Take a group picture. Okay, everybody show your face. Trisha, let's take a group picture. Okay, thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, smile. One more time. Hold on, somewhat. Yeah. Now we got Margen. Okay, one more time. Margen, thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, got you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Arigato.
Arigato.